Hello, Violas. I'm Mrs. Cummings, and I am going to be playing through the viola audition material for NVYO Symphony. We are first going to start off with the scales. You need to be playing one major and one minor scale that best demonstrates your pitch, tone, and range. It needs to be at least 3 octaves in each of those scales. So we're going to go through the examples that are below. You can choose these or any other scale that you're comfortable with as long as it's 3 octaves. For these scales, they are C major and C melodic minor. We're going to be following the suggested fingering that is here on the material on the papers. These shifting places are just fine as long as we're really planning ahead for our shifts and hearing the note before we shift to help us with our intonation. We're definitely going to have a goal of big full tone with using our entire bow, and our tempo is 120 for the quarter note. So I'm going to set our metronome and we're going to try and play through both of these scales together. Make sure you're paying attention to all of your naturals in the major scale and our key change in the melodic minor scale with our 3 flats, and then our accidentals on the way up, that are naturals, and our flats on the way back down. So let's give some scales a shot. That's our quarter note, and we're playing half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's too fast at first. Make sure you find a comfortable tempo and start at that slower tempo and work your way faster. But don't try and start right away at 120 if that's not comfortable for you right away. Next, you would need to have a solo. This is something that you can choose for yourself. It could be a solo that you have played recently at EDC or at Solo Ensemble Festival. Something that you can play well. You want to be confident, and that shows your current level of playing. You don't want it to be too hard so that it doesn't demonstrate what you're able to do, but you don't want it to be too easy. We need to see what skills you're capable of. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask Naomi through her email or your orchestra teacher for some ideas. And then the last thing that we have is our excerpt. This comes from Dvorak Symphony No. 8, the first movement. It's near the beginning of the piece because it goes from letter A only up to measure 6. So if you are listening to a recording of this, which we definitely suggest you do, it's near the beginning of the recording, so you don't have to search too far to find it, but definitely listen to this so you can understand tempo, style, and articulations, and get a bigger picture feel for how this excerpt works. Okay, we're checking our key signature. We're looking at our articulations. There's a lot of very specific bowings. We've got a lot of double downs and then hooked bowings. So I suggest, if you're able to, print this off and mark in those bowings so that you can see them a little bit easier. They're a little hard to see digitally. So if you need some extra markings for seeing those bowings, do that. When there are 2 notes, like we'll have, or even 4 notes like we have in this measure, just pick one to follow, but be consistent. If you're going to play all the top notes, play all the top notes. If you're going to play the top notes here, when we get to this group of 4, pick one of the 2 top notes. If you're going to play the bottom notes, stick with the bottom notes and then pick this, potentially this bottom note or one of the 2 bottom notes. So be consistent when you choose that. There's a lot of articulations, there's dynamics that we're going to incorporate, and then watch out for this figure here in measure 42 to 46. This is written in a shorthand and like an edited version, but it's played in full 16th notes as a kind of trill figure back and forth between these 2 notes and then these 2 notes. Watch out for this measure here, 45 and 46. It's a string crossing in that passage. So we're actually going from 2nd finger to 3rd finger. Okay, so make sure that you're really dropping your shoulder and your elbow to be able to do that string crossing really quickly. Okay, let's play this at a slightly slower tempo so we can get a feel for how everything works, really accentuate dynamics, and then I'll try it again at our suggested quarter note equals 138, which is pretty fast. So I'm going to set our tempo to keep us consistent at about 110. That's a quarter note. We can give ourselves time to look ahead. I'm going to play all top notes as I play through this. First note is a high 3 F sharp. Watch out for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's a slightly slower tempo. If you need to start slower than that, do so. Figure out some of these really quick string crossings in 45 and 46. Really pay attention to our rhythms. We have very specific 8th note, 16th rest, 16th note. So make sure that's not turning into a triplet passage. Make sure you're subdividing your 16th notes. All right, we're going to give it a go at 138. This is our goal tempo. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of Naomi or your teacher with some help on any of these audition materials. Good luck.